From the CyberHub bunker and studio, you're tuning in to the CyberHub Podcast. And now for your host and CISO, James Azar.
All right, guys, good morning. James Azar here with your Practitioner Brief for December 15th, 2020. 16 days left in this unbelievably challenging year. This has been quite the weekend. Before we get started, though, please subscribe to our podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and you'll be able to get all of our content directly and get notified when we do post it. If you're listening, please give us a 5-star rating and subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform. Our Practitioner Brief can be found on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. Go there and get that. And now let's get into today's Practitioner Brief. A lot of things to talk about. The SolarWinds Fallout is in full effect. If you're like me and you were kind of searching, there's really one story and that has SolarWinds comments, and then a lot of Monday morning and armchair quarterbacks and armchair security people talking about what should and could and all the different challenges. We're all well aware of our challenges. Our challenges exist in security because we are isolated. Everyone's playing on their own team. Yes, we coordinate. Yes, we collaborate. Yes, we share information when we can, but we're stuck behind a lot of different bureaucracies that impact the way we share information with our government partners simply because of the fact that there are legal repercussions, or organizations don't necessarily always trust government agencies to do the right thing by the company. And so we end up in a position where we've got a critical vulnerability, nation states taking advantage of it, a death by 1,000 cuts, and very little is being addressed in the conversation. Everyone's kind of armchairing this, Monday morning quarterbacking this thing, but very few are really addressing the bottom line of this, which is we need to establish a better private-public relationship. We need to redo the way we do security into the idea that a single corporation stands no chance against a nation-state attack. None. We saw that with FireEye. We're seeing that now with the onslaught of nation-state attacks against government agencies who have the tools. The work of inner agencies between CISA and NSA and DoD and all these uncentralized cyber units need to come together, folks. This is similar to a 9/11 moment from a intelligence sharing perspective. Post 9/11, we built a commission that allowed for intel sharing across the FBI, CIA, NSA, and all the other agencies, that allowed for intel to be picked up and worked on cross agencies. We need to do the same with cyber. U.S. companies don't stand a chance when China or Russia come at them. They don't stand a chance. So let's get right into today's Practitioner Brief. That was my passionate plea, kind of a kickoff off of yesterday. It's a discussion we need to be having. So SolarWinds says that essentially 18,000 customers may have been compromised using the Orion product. So the SolarWinds investigation that says that leveraged its product to target government and private sector organization revealed 18,000 customers may have used a compromised product. This according to a filing with the SEC. SolarWinds says it notified roughly 33,000 Orion customers of the incident, but the firm believes that in reality fewer than 18,000 customers may have used the compromised version of its product. It also noted it detected an attack targeting its Microsoft Office 365 email and productivity systems, but the company is still trying to determine if this incident is related to the Orion hack, and claims that it has found no evidence that any data was exfilled there. SolarWinds did release a hotfix today, and it's expected to release another update again to provide additional security enhancements to the Orion product. The company pointed out that there is no evidence that any other products are impacted by this, and notes that the only products downloaded, implemented, and updated between March and September contained the vulnerability. The source code repository of the Orion product was apparently not compromised. FireEye, which did an unbelievable job of breaking this down, putting out an incident reports, helping us out with the IOC. Well done to FireEye. My prayer is that what FireEye did becomes a standard. That post every breach, we get something of that nature of the IOCs that can go out to the community, that can be used as a knowledge treasure to help other practitioners be prepared to deal with those threats. However, in SEC filing, SolarWinds noted that it's still investigating whether and to what extent the vulnerability in the Orion product was successfully exploited and if in any of the attacks, according to media reports. This is being kind of pinned on Russia, and while it might be, my gut feeling says it's not the Russians, folks. I feel like our media and a lot of people have a thing about Russian nefarious cyber activities. The Russian embassy in the U.S. has denied that, and people are going to say, James, what are you drinking? Vodka? No, I don't drink vodka. I drink Scotch, bourbon, and whiskey. No, I'm not on anything, but something stinks here. It stinks in the fact that people are automatically saying Russia almost without considering any other players that could do this, i.e. China. The timing of this and everything, kind of with the leak of the China papers over the weekend, and then everyone kind of pointing the finger at Russia, makes me think that's where someone wants us to look, but not where we need to be looking, which is where we need to be looking is on China and the CCP. In other news of the SolarWinds incident, DHS, Treasury, and Commerce were all victims of this vulnerability. In addition, defense contractors and enterprise were caught up in the attack, according to FireEye, which carried out a supply chain attack targeting the SolarWinds network management platform. The Commerce Department has confirmed that its National Telecommunication and Information Administration was hit, while the FBI said it was appropriately engaged. Chris Bing, a Reuters reporter, tweeted out that DHS has also been a victim. The Russian embassy in D.C. said that reports are unfounded attempts of the U.S. media to blame Russia. And here's the thing, on any average day, I tell you, communist propaganda, folks. But I really don't believe the Russians did this. They had no interest in doing this. None. I don't mean to get political, but we heard for years that President Trump was in the bag with the Russians. And years of investigations proved nothing. And now we're in a Biden scandal where Hunter Biden and Jim Biden, the son and the brother of President-elect Biden, are in bed with China. And China's been trying to get a hold of all of this government communications. This seems like a Chinese deal. I may be crazy. I may be drinking. I don't know. But this doesn't seem like a Russian attack for me. It seems like something China's doing and trying to pin it on Russia. They're able to do so. The media here and the media in different parts of the world has a hard-on for Russian cyber activities, but the sophistication of this attack, the timing of this attack, it doesn't smell right for me. I don't know. I may be the only guy thinking this, and I may be wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I may be wrong. Maybe when this is all said and done, it was Russia, but I'm trying to identify why a nation state like Russia would do something like this at a time like this when the pressure right now is off for Russia and all eyes are looking at China globally. Australia and China are in the midst of an extreme trade war. China's under investigation in the US and across Europe over COVID-19, its trade practices, its human rights. And all of a sudden, Russia does a cyber attack of this magnitude against U.S. infrastructure. I don't buy it. As a former Intel guy, I don't buy it. Something here doesn't smell right. That's all I'm saying. All right. Our final story is the critical Golang XML parser bugs that can cause the SAML authentication bypass. This is huge, folks. Mattermost. Thanks to Chris Follon for bringing this to my attention yesterday. We're just kind of texting around, and he goes, hey, have you seen this? Which brings out, which discloses 3 critical vulnerabilities within the Go language XML parser. If exploited, these vulnerabilities, also impacting multiple Go-based SAML implementations, can lead to a complete bypass of SAML authentication, which powers prominent web applications today. There are 3 different CVEs that affect this: 2022 9er 509er, 2022 9er 510, and 2022 9er 511. All XML element instability in the Go's encoding XML. This is huge because this essentially bypasses our authentication. These bugs do bypass our authentication. There's no patch as of yet, but some controls can be put in place to really deal with this. So I'd urge you to go and do so. There's the fix, which in some cases, if you have a mission critical system or application that's using the XML parser, the impact can be privilege escalation or authentication bypass, depending on how you're using the XML parser. Again, this is critical. This is why DevSecOps is a critical part of security. How we implement authentication and how we use authentication across the organization when one app communicates with the other and tries to verify and authenticate data or users is critical. This vulnerability here, folks, can be done. There's a few fixes in the Dex IDP and the Crew Jam on GitHub. All those links are available on our website at cyberhubpodcast.com. Thank you so much for Matter Most researchers for the disclosure in their blog post, and you can read the whole thing. It's linked on our website. That's it for us here today, guys. I'm done. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, stay cyber safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves.
We love feedback, so make sure to connect with us on and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast listening platform.